The following interrogation footage has never been seen before.
Grandma?
Oh my God.
She can get out. She wants Grandma to leave. I'm not going to ask any questions right now until we get.
What would make a grandmother emotionally break down like that? For Karen Brooke, it was the murder her 15-year-old granddaughter, Alyssa Bustamante, just confessed to. If you had to describe Alyssa Bustamante's childhood with a single word, it would undoubtedly be tragic. According to case documents, Alyssa confided in a mental health professional that she had been subjected to severe mistreatment at a young age. The resulting trauma led to Alyssa being diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, and the doctor stated she developed an abhorrence for violence. She'd been the result of a teenage pregnancy, as her mother, Michelle, was only 15 years old when she was born. Though her grandparents were excited to have grandchildren, Alyssa's parents, Michelle and Cesar, weren't prepared for parenthood. It wasn't long before Alyssa was joined by 3 younger siblings, twin brothers, and a sister named Emma. The children grew up in a turbulent household. Cesar Bustamante was eventually charged with 3 counts of assault and was sentenced to serve 3 concurrent prison terms. There was no stability for Alyssa, her brothers, and sister, and they were often evicted, forcing them to constantly pack up and move. Michelle's parents, Karen and Gary Brooke, stepped in to help take care of the children. However, they soon found that many of their efforts, such as sending food to the family and visiting, were all in vain. Eventually, they realized that there was only one thing they could do that would truly make a difference in the children's lives. The grandparents decided to campaign for full custody of Alyssa and her siblings. When they gained full custody of the children, Alyssa was about 8 years old. Living with her grandparents offered her stability for the first time in her life, but Alyssa had already been exposed to far too much. Seeking a new start, Alyssa's grandparents moved the family to the small town of St. Martin's, Missouri, where they bought a nice home on a large piece of land. Right away, the twin boys and Emma flourished in their new location, but Alyssa seemed to have difficulty adjusting. It was in this small town of just over 1,000 people, where everyone knows everyone, that Alyssa's gruesome crime would devastate all who lived there. It was Wednesday, October 21st, 2009, when Alyssa's younger sister, Emma Bustamante, now 6 years old, knocked on the Oltons' front door. She wanted 9-year-old Elizabeth Olton to come out and play. The Bustamantes and Oltons only lived 4 houses down from each other, and the 2 young girls would often play at each other's houses. But on this particular day, Elizabeth would never make it home. Elizabeth Olton was a typical girly girl. Before Emma showed up at Elizabeth's house, she'd been excitedly practicing her lines at the dining room table for an upcoming musical, Noteworthy. Elizabeth's mother, Patty, said she couldn't go play at first. Dinner would be ready soon, but the girls begged her enough for her to finally give in. Patty gave her daughter clear instructions to be home by 6 p.m., when the sun would nearly be set in late October, and Patty trusted that Elizabeth would come home since the 4th grader was terrified of the dark. Emma and Elizabeth played board games and hopscotch in the Bustamante driveway. Eventually, Elizabeth told Emma that she needed to go home. Emma stood on the big rock by her driveway and watched her friend begin her walk home. However, she didn't stay to see if Elizabeth made it all the way home safely. Emma was later asked by investigators if Elizabeth might have walked through the woods to get home, but she was adamant that they never went in the woods. Emma continued playing outside, though she didn't know for how long. At some point, she lost a hair tie in the thorns by her driveway, and when she tried to retrieve it, she scratched her hand and her foot got stuck. Emma said she yelled until Alyssa came to help her, claiming Alyssa had been in the house and heard her through an open window. As Alyssa helped her out of the thorns, Emma noticed a spot of blood on the thigh of Alyssa's pants. She asked her sister about it, who explained it away by saying she had her period. Alyssa made her little sister promise not to tell anyone about the blood.